it is it autism or not. So this reassurance gets even more important here. So you need to tell her that it looks like a behavior problem, or you can say the child is showing temper tantrums. So it is a common condition at this in this age group, but most of the time it gets better by the age of 5. Why my child is having this condition? Most of the time the next question will be this. So because in this age they cannot express themselves, they cannot show their frustration. So so they throw tantrum to show that. So as you have mentioned that you have recently started your job, so it might be the reason for that, but there are some other factors as well. So it will be great if you can keep a diary with you, and whenever your child is showing this kind of behavior, you can note the triggering factor, and so that in the next appointment we can work on that. Whenever there is a trigger, you can talk about trigger diary. The same trigger diary we have talked about in asthma station, same trigger diary you can use anywhere. Whenever there is a trigger, you can give this trigger diary thing in your management. Similarly, you can tell the mother that, but still to be on safe side, it would be, you have told her already, then it's fine. If you have not talked about the examination, then tell her that, still to be on safe side, I would like you to bring your child so that we can assess him. We might need to do some test as well to make sure everything is fine with him. And if it is because of these temper tantrums, then I will give you some tips. You can follow these things, and if they are not helping, and if your child's behavior, like he's showing more these temper tantrums are you can ask about the episode as well. So if it is like more than 2 months or more than few months, and these tips are not helping, then you can talk to us about that. So this will be your safety netting as well. In the meantime, you can safety net about autism symptom. If you think that your child is not making eye contact, he is losing the previously achieved milestones, or or he is like, you are concerned about anything else in his development or in his behavior, then you can talk to us. The tips you can talk here, main thing is this positive reinforcement therapy. No punishment, but reward therapy. Whenever he is behaving good, you can give him any kind of reward. It can be a chocolate, his favorite toy, it can be a huggy or kissy, anything. And but please don't punish him. It's not his fault. He will be better with the time. He wants your time. Try to spend some more time with him. Don't shout at him. You can keep a self-help diary to identify the trigger. You can talk about sport groups. You can talk about some parenting workshops or programs as well to guide the mother, and do your safety netting and talk about leaflet. This will be your management in this case. Dr. Sadat.
Okay, yeah, I'm listening to you.
Okay. And the second thing
Yeah.
was autism. So similar station, mother is coming with a child 3 years old. It can be because of autism. If it is a first visit, then without assessing the child, without involving a team of doctor, a multidisciplinary team of doctor, you can't say it is autism, because it's the first meeting, and also you have not seen the child. So the key is to not say autism. Give best case, worst case scenario, even if it is autism. Okay. Mother will ask you, is it autism? And then you can say, I'm not sure at the moment. You have told her the best case, worst case, the DDs, and after that you can tell her that I would like to see your child in person. My senior will also assess you, and a team of doctor will be involved, and after that, if we will be able to tell you exactly if it is autism or not, but I'm not sure. So autism is a very important station, but the key is that you cannot make the diagnosis by a single phone call. You need to see the child. You need to involve your senior. You are a junior doctor. You cannot do that. And if mother is saying you, like if it is autism doctor, then you can ask her, why do you think so? She can tell you a background story. And if she wants you to talk about autism, then you can tell her that it's the plan, autism management plan as well. So a team of doctor will be involved, and we will be there with you. We will be looking after your child, and we will be taking care of his needs. Sometimes the child are having some problem with their developmental milestone. Some children, they are having feeding problem. Some children are having sleeping problem. So whatever problem your child is having, we will be solving it. And there are sport groups as well, autistic society as well. A lot of help is available. So please don't worry. Even if it is an autism, then we will be guiding you towards that. And we will be working on his communication skill, his behavior, his social interaction. And in this way, you will tackle both of these patients. Is it clear?
Yes, yes, yes. You're
I'm sure
right.
I'm not making it very complicated.
No, 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 no. It's very easy. It's nothing to be complicated. The way that you explained to me is a very easy way, to remember.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
actually, autism is a diagnosis of 6 months, by the specialist. You can tell. You are
yeah,
right, absolutely right.
even if you are having 100% clues about autism. Similarly, we don't say, like in the same way we don't say about cancer. If patient is coming with the first time with weight loss, patient is having some problem, patient is having some neck lump and we think it is lymphoma, but we will not say that to patient. We will just give best case, worst case scenario, the DDs here, because we are not having any clue. If there is an FNAC report, if there is a CT scan showing that it is lymphoma, then it is a breaking bad news kind of station, or it is a counseling station. But if patient is coming with a history based station, patient is coming with a symptom and he wants to know, then with the first meeting we will not say it is a cancer. We are not having any uh, the proof of that. Okay. And the next thing was that this conduct disorder or oppositional defiant disorder. So it is a totally different thing. The temper tantrum is a kind of the normal naughty child. Children are like this in this like they are naughty, they are showing tantrum sometimes, they are like this in this age. But the conduct disorder, it's a different thing. They are aggressive, they are aggressive towards animals, they are aggressive towards people. The conduct disorder is mostly seen in teenagers. Okay. It is the counterpart of conduct disorder is oppositional defiant disorder. It is seen in age less than 11 year, but it will be different scenario. They are continuously disobeying, they are doing arguments with the adults. They are not they are kind of showing antisocial personality. And at this age, at 3 years of age, you cannot expect things from like this from a toddler. It's totally different thing. And if it is a teenager, then obviously you can think about conduct disorder. You can ask about the persistent lying and theft and violation of rules, poor performance at school, disobeying their adults, these kind of things you will be worried about. But in children, it's important to go with these three things. These will be your top DDs with this kind of history. Any question up till now?
No, no, that's fine. Very easy to understand. No problem. Please continue.
Okay. So I think I am done with this station. We have covered the management. And Dr. Sadat, if you are not having enough time in the management, right? If you think you are at 6 minutes, okay? So Dr. Saima talked about this right now as well. Give a layout of the management without talking in detail. Just give all these things. Where is the slide gone? Yes. Talk about all these things, like summary of all these things in 1 minute. In this way, you will be able to score some marks in the management. Data gathering should be good, but in data gathering, when you are practicing, the second thing is practicing. Okay, when you are practicing, you get to know what are the extra questions, because we all know what are the questions to ask, but we should know the questions to omit as well. What are the questions that can be skipped? And you can only know this thing when you are doing mock or when you are practicing. Only these two are the things are the way when you get to know what are the things that you can skip. And practicing means practicing daily. It should not be like practicing once a week, twice a week. Daily practicing, I always say that. Even if you are doing 4 stations, 5 stations per day, you are not having time, but please take some time for your practice. Specifically, you are having exam in next 1 month. Take out some time and practice every day. It will improve your reflexes and you will not be anxious in the exam. It will be helpful. Dr. Annie, are you there?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome,
Doctor.
Dr. Sadat. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Hi. Annie, are you there? We can't hear you. So next, Dr. Javed wanted to perform, I think. Dr. Javed?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Hello. Okay. Okay.
Hello,
Hello.
my name is Javed, working in the respiratory department. I'm a junior doctor. Am I talking to, may I know your name?
Yeah, doctor, my name is Alfie. Hello. Dr. Javed, I think you are mute.
Sorry, it's okay now?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's it.
Can you confirm the name and age of your mother for me?
Yeah, doctor, her name is Mrs. Charlotte and she is 60 years old.
Okay, before we talk further, may I know your address, please?
Yeah, doctor, it's 3 Hardman Street, Manchester.
Thank you. And it is the right, it's a time number. If it's line disconnect, I can call you back.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, how can I help you, Selfie?
Actually, doctor, I am really angry. I want to complain about the GP.
Okay, Selfie, I can feel you upset. May I know, can you tell me more about this one?
Doctor, you know, my mother got diagnosed with lung cancer 1 day ago, and I was continuously asking the GP to do a chest X-ray for her, and she could have been diagnosed way earlier.
I'm so sorry to hear about your mother condition. Can I ask a couple of questions we discuss further in the detail? Is it okay? Okay.
Okay, doctor.
Could you give me a quick recap? What happened actually, your mother? What happened actually from the beginning?
Doctor, my mother was having, she actually had multiple chest infections, and every time we were going to the GP, he just told us that, you know, she's having chest infection, and she gave antibiotics, and through all this time, he was continuously telling that she's having chest infection, and not once he ordered a chest X-ray for her. And you know, yesterday what happened? She collapsed and she was brought to the emergency, and then they did a chest X-ray for her, and they found that she had lung cancer, doctor.
Oh, I am so sorry to hear that you went through this time. Can I ask you a question about your mother? How's her condition at present?
Doctor, she's conscious now, but what can I say, doctor?
Yeah, yes, as your concern is quite valid. If I'm in your position, I will react the same way. Let's discuss about furthermore. So you have your mother having a loss of weight in the same time, any lumps and bumps in the body?
No, doctor.
Okay, right. And she had any difficulty in breathing?
No, doctor, but when she was having the infections, she did had some difficult breathing.
Okay, okay, right. And apart from this, she has any bleeding from somewhere in the body?
No.
Okay, and is there any other medical condition like high blood sugar, high blood pressure?
No, doctor, she does not have high blood pressure or high blood sugar, but she has a condition, COPD.
Okay, how is her managing this condition?
Yeah, she was taking some steroids, but she was not very regular because doctor, she also has dementia.
I'm so sorry to hear the dementia. And how are you coping with your mother's condition? I can see dementia people very difficult to manage.
Yeah, doctor, my mother is doing okay, but I am not coping well with the diagnosis of my mother.
Yeah, I can see it must be very difficult and very challenging for you to handle your mother with dementia, and it's a lot of difficult. I can feel. So I'll feel more question about lifestyle of your mother. Your mother about what about her smoking habits?
Yeah, doctor, she was a smoker.
Okay, and since how long she's smoking?
Doctor, it's been many years. She smokes 20 cigarettes every day.
Okay, and apart from this, more questions about her medical. She's taking any medication apart from COPD?
No.
Okay, is she allergic to any medication?
No, doctor.
Right. Okay, and what about any family history of long-term medical conditions?
No, doctor.
Okay. See, and who's taking care of your mother apart from you? Anybody in home or?
Doctor, actually, she lives alone, and I live far away. But I do visit her on the weekend. But you know, the neighbors are very kind. They usually help her with everyday activities.
Oh, I see. So as you mentioned, she has this problem of dementia also, and this thing. So we'll talk in later in detail because they need extra care of the, your mother needs more, support.
Okay.
So Elfie, thank you so much for the information. Is there anything important you want to add to discuss further?
No, doctor.
Right. So it is, if it's possible, you can bring your mother. We have to check him again and see his condition, and we discuss further, and we also discuss with the senior as well. Is it possible for you?
Yeah, I can bring my mother, but doctor, I want to complain about GP.
Yes, you have a right to complain, but what happened is you mentioned about, sometime patient with COPD having an infection. So it's depend upon the clinical judgment. Do you follow me?
What do you mean by that, doctor? He's a doctor. He should know when to order the X-ray, didn't he?
Yes, you are absolutely right, Elfie. But it's the judgment of the doctor, and according to the patient's condition, if it is if it is necessary, why not we do the X-ray? But X-ray is also side effect. There's some radiation also of the X-ray. It affects the patient as well.
But you see, doctor, the cancer was there, and if he could have done that, then she would have diagnosed earlier. It wouldn't be too late then, doctor.
Yes, your concern is quite valid, but sometimes even we do the X-ray, we can miss some finding, during the X-ray sometime. But it would be better we can see her and assess her condition, and will do further treatment for her. How does this sound to you?
But no, doctor, that's fine, that's okay. But I want to complain about him.
Yes, you have a right to complain. When you come, we definitely what we'll do. First, I record the incident. This one. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Dr. Javed.
Thank you, Dr.
It was a nice attempt. Okay, let's talk about your feedback.
Little bit disturbance for the, the
what
background. There's some noise also from the background. I think maybe it's disturbance there from my side.
Okay, from your side. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so Dr. Javed, what was your understanding of task?
I think it was a medical error.
How could you know that?
Annie, can you show the task again?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Okay. So, Mr. Alfie, age 40, has made a call to talk about his mother's diagnosis. Mrs. Charlotte, age 60, has been admitted to the hospital and diagnosed with lung cancer one day ago. Please talk to the patient and address his concerns. So, Dr. Javed, the main task was to address my concerns. While I think that your main focus was to treat her mother further, like you were emphasizing on bringing her to the hospital and then we can do further treatment for her. So yeah, you were addressing my concerns, but you should be focusing more on that, right? Are
Right.
you getting me? And at this point, we don't know
Yes,
if a
sir.
medical error has happened or not, because we don't know the both sides of the story. So can we defend the GP, Dr. Javed?
Mhm.
At this
Right.
point, can we defend the GP?
No,
No.
no,
We
you're
don't
right.
know the
Yeah.
story. Yeah,
Yeah.
and can we blame him? No,
No.
right? So we have to be in the middle.
Right.
And we have to reassure him. First of all, this if the patient is making a call, right? So Dr. Javed, no need to ask like, is it comfortable to talk? Because he already, obviously is comfortable. That's why he's calling, right? So we can omit that detail. Now the patient is very frustrated. So, you know, in this station, we can do a lot of IPS. We can, you know, sympathy, empathy, you try to do that. But Dr. Javed, be very natural. Don't use the stock phrase. I'm very sorry to hear that. It must be really frustrating. Like, yeah, it's okay. But, you know, be natural.
Right.
Alfie, first of all, I'm really sorry to hear about your mother's diagnosis. It must be a really